Howdy everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Grocery Store Growing, right here on The More You Grow. So a lot of times for this series, I've got things planned ahead of time, what I'm going to get planted, what I'm going to get started, and what the episodes are going to be. But there's sometimes when I go into the grocery store and see something I wasn't expecting, and that happened to me today. So we've done this plant on the channel before, we've propagated this before, but we've never done it from the grocery store. I found a new variety of sugarcane, or a different variety than we have currently growing. This is a green variety of sugarcane. It doesn't have any of the purple on it like ours does, and it's a lot bigger stalks. And another thing that tells me it's different are the buds are a little bit different. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I get sugarcane propagated like I've done before, and we're going to see how this variety does along the way and see if it's better or worse or how it does compared to what we've already got growing. So let's go check it out. The first thing you always want to do when you start grocery store sugarcane is you want to make sure that it will grow. And you want to make sure that it's alive. The way you do that is you want to make sure that the buds are still alive. What happens a lot of times in grocery stores are that they store the sugarcane at really cold temperatures and it kills the buds. So you always want to check the buds before you buy sugarcane from the store if you want to grow it. And the way you'll do that is you'll go and you'll look at these buds here, and if they're green and healthy and they look like they're still alive, that's the kind of sugarcane you want to start if you're going to start it from the grocery store. The things you want to look out for, and I've already cut a piece off that had this, is you want to make sure that the buds aren't dead like this one. A lot of times that cold temperature in the grocery store will kill the buds, and this would not grow any sugarcane. And if the whole stalk looked like this, it may be good for eating, but it's not good for growing. So always check the buds before you buy your sugarcane. So you've checked your sugarcane, it's got healthy buds, it looks ready to go. Now what? The first step you want to do, if you're wanting to start it in pots or in watering containers, you're going to want to make it into more manageable pieces. And another reason you want to cut this into sections, because if I were to just go plant this, or if I were to try to just start this in water, what would end up happening is the bud on the very end would hog all the energy, or a lot of it. You'll notice the bud on one end will get really big and really healthy, and some of the ones further down are a lot smaller, and then some of them don't even grow at the end. So by cutting these into sections, it makes sure that all the energy in this stalk is dispersed evenly. So first thing you'll want to do is just get it cut into manageable pieces. I'm going to cut this to where it has 2 nodes per piece. So a node here, node there, and you flip it over on the other side, there's a node there. So 2 nodes, and you'll know the nodes are going to be at the ring. These rings are where they're going to be at. So always cut in between, or cut at the inner node. That's what this is called, the inner node. You always want to cut in between buds. That way you don't kill your bud. If you cut at this ring, it's going to kill the bud and you're not going to grow any sugarcane, so don't make that mistake. What I'm going to use to cut this sugarcane are just some average tree pruners, and it's because I can get one good cut rather than sawing it and shredding it or getting a splintered cut where it looks like splintered logs or something like that. This will give one good clean cut. And what I've done is, if you're ever propagating anything, no matter what it is, if you're going to cut it or take cuttings off of something or do anything besides plant seeds, if you're going to cut it with something, you want to always get some kind of disinfecting wipes or something like that and clean off your blade. You want to make sure that you don't have any disease on your blade or anything like that that you can transfer to your new cuttings. So it's always a safe bet. Just get a disinfecting wipe and clean your cutting blade. So we've got our pruners clean, we've got our sugar cane. We're going to count out 2 buds, 1 bud, 2 buds. So that means we're going to cut in the middle right here. And I'm just going to take that. I've got it kind of propped to where I can get a good cut on it. And we're just going to take this one right down the middle. It worked out just right. We want to cut it just right down the middle. there we go. We've got one piece of sugarcane we can get started. That's one. That's two. This had longer internodes, so there's going to be less buds on it. If you find stalks that are a little bit shorter nodes, sometimes you can get more pieces per stalk. It's just one of those things you got to look for. See which pieces have the healthiest buds and which pieces have the most nodes on them, because more nodes you get, the more sugarcane plants you can get started. We're going to take this one and going to take, that's one, that's two. We're going to get 3 pieces out of this stalk. So that's awesome. This is going to, same price for this piece as this other piece, and I've got more plants I can get started. I don't think people in the grocery store think about some of us out there looking at their plants not to eat them, but to get them started and start growing our own plants. They probably don't think about that. I'm hoping they don't, because then they'd probably charge more. All right, so we got it all cut. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 starts we can have now that we can get started. And now I'm going to talk about what you do once you get them cut. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to decide, do you want to start these in pots or do you want to start these in water? And I did a video about this. You can watch it up here about which method worked best. I think we're just going to maybe do some of these shorter ones in pots, and then these longer ones that wouldn't fit in pots so well, we're going to start those in water. Just wanted to give you all a little closer look at what I'm doing here. All I'm doing is I've just got a little bit of shallow water down there to kind of let those stalks not be submerged, but just have some, just kind of have a little bit of water to keep them hydrated, keep them growing, trigger them to sprout. I'm probably going to go along here and take one of these, maybe the shortest one right here, and plant that in a pot. At any point during this, soaking it in water or whatever method you choose, if you decide to choose sprouting it in water or starting it in water, you can switch over at any point and plant it in a pot. That's fine. That's what I'm going to do because I'm actually out of time for today. I have some other things I got to go do, but I can keep them in this until I get some potting soil in a pot and get them planted. Well, I think that's it for part 1 of this project, you guys. Stay tuned for part 2. Once the cuttings start to root out and the buds start to grow, I'll show you what to do with your cuttings after that. But if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you have any questions for me about how to pick out sugarcane from the grocery store or how to get it started, leave those down in the comments. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you can be there when all the new videos come out. And until next time, I hope you'll join me right here on The More You Grow.